here they came in through this area, Kota Baru. They landed in Kota Baru and they went down all over. This South China Sea, we heard 2 of the British battleships were sunk, if I'm not mistaken, Queen Repulse and Prince of Wales or something like that.
The war came, but before the war came, there were rumors coming, and we never expected it was so fast because Thailand. So that's why they were so fast. They came in, and some from Kota Baru, the boat. They attacked from the north.
Who did the first that they came into Malaysia? These are the suicide squad. They were the suicide squad, only later on followed by the regular regiment. Suicide squad, they are very mean and very cruel, very atrocious. They came in, I remember when they came in, the first time I look at them, they all of them were on the bicycle, going about the town bicycle.
ஜப்பாங்காரன் வரான்னு சொல்ல ஏஆர்பி வந்து எல்லாருக்கும் எச்சரிக்கை கொடுத்துட்டாங்க. ஏஆர்பின்னா
ARP, there's some unit here.
அந்த இது பிளாக் அவுட்லலாம் அவன் வந்து மண்ணுக்குன்னெல்லாம் வச்சுட்டு காத்துக்கிட்டு இருப்பானுங்க.
ARP அது வந்து யார் மலாய்க்காரங்களா வெள்ளக்காரங்களா?
வெள்ளக்காரன் வச்சது.
It seems it's a unit set up by the British. They were the unit that was announcing the arrival of the Japanese. Therefore, evacuate.
So I, like a fool, went down the road, went to the main road, the gate there, and looking everywhere where the Japanese are. And then I saw them coming in the drains, They walked through the drains, the little ways on both sides of the road, They walked through there, and I saw first time in my life seeing a Japanese.
Kita rumah kampung, dia orang korek macam telaga tau. Dia orang pasal nak, kalau perang dia orang senang masuk, dia orang lawan sama British. Kampung kami tu habis jadi lubang. Dia orang korek. Ini Jepun yang kerja lah. Kemudian jalan kereta api, sebelum sampai stesen, dia tebang ini getah-getah semua. Dia buat apa? Dia buat kubu, naik angkut tanah, bubuh. Sampai kereta api lalu mesti lintas itu.
Saya yang tahu 3 jam semasa saya ada di Cangkat Ibul, kampung tempat saya bersekolah tu, saya nampaklah kapal terbang Jepun tu datang bom di railway station tu. Nampak kapal terbang datang di railway station Taiping.
தூக்கம் இல்ல. பூம் பூம் பூம்.
எவ்வளவு நாள்? எத்தனை ராத்திரி?
ஒரு 2 வாரத்துக்கிட்ட.
For 2 weeks they were tormented by the sound of shelling and bombing.
தரசண்டை.
We had to go to work, but the buses were still running, so we could use the bus. But when you are on the road, when they start bombing, you have to take shelter. Anywhere you have to go. If there are drains, you jump into the drain. Once I was caught, I had to jump in the big drain. Luckily the drains are dry.
You dig a hole, you stay inside, if you drop the bomb, it will not affect you. And we did dig the hole, about 8 to 10 feet long, about 5 feet wide. We dig a hole, 4 feet deep. And then we put a aluminium tin on top, cover up. So when we hear the siren will sound, it will blow. Up and down. That means the plane is coming to bomb. The plane is coming. They direct. So we all run into the hole and hide.
Tidur pun tak lena malam. Tidur malam duduk
Pegang duk taubong debu dengan tepeng tu. Pakai pelita ayam ni ambil gulung tika tak pelita tengah tu. Tak bagi nampak, bagi lampu api.
So when the bomb started bombing, we all tried to escape. We went, run away from our house, go to somewhere near a pond. Then my servant supposed to carry the baby, carry a bolster and then off. The baby was in the cot. So luckily, after everything was over, we came back. Our house was intact. So the baby slept soundly too.
We saw the Japanese plane, going by and going very low because they were aiming for the oil tanker, in Butterworth. I don't know whether my auntie and uncle, they knew that something was coming on. Of course, they had an air raid shelter, It's big as this, and then they have, the coconut trunks, they made the walls. Oh. Very solid.
The bomb, the Japanese attack, we were there. We actually heard the Japanese plane coming in and heard the machine gun, we heard the explosion of the bomb.
Wow.
So it's quite an experience for us. So much so we were so scared. We were asked to lie under the bed so that when the bomb exploded, things will keep falling. We were protected under the bed.
Masa bom di Taipei ni, bom dia mari kali banyak kapal terbang bintang. Umar lari lah, duduk lautan, naik bukit, duduk dalam potong pinang lah. Dulu ada rumah ada teh tu kan, ada store tumpang duduk situ lah. Bom kena dia punya bapa saudara, bom pantai. Dia kena bom belakang lekat besi beberapa bulan ke.
When the Japanese come, they say, oh, they want kunyang, kunyang. Be difficult lah. They come in early when they saw this younger, This younger all scared, because we don't stay in the town, we run to the kampong side. Inside we hide there. Boycott, the boy said and all that.
Orang banyak takut dah. Ni kasih buka, kasih hitam. Ni tembak potong serupa laki-laki. Talo ni kan. Laki-laki. Ni kan. Banyak tak bagus lah. Ni pun mari.
So my neighbors had about six girls. 6 girls. What did they do? The father cut off all their hair, short, use charcoal, to blacken their faces and all that, and use old clothes and all, so that they look ugly. So when the Japanese come, they see them, they don't want them.
My grandmother was afraid for us girls. The time I was, I think I was 14, 15. And next time she make us wear old ladies' clothes. My grandmother black, all black. And time she make us wear black also. It's just go into the house, they drag the girls out. Okay. So all the girls had to go into hiding. My cousins dressed as boys, cut their hair like boys. And we went and lived in a kampong. Once the Japanese came and into the house, these 2 girls ran to the back. They had no chance to go anywhere. They went and hid in the chicken coop. With all the chicken dung and all that, they went and hid inside.
One Japanese officer came to the shop to buy ring. So grandfather showed him the ring. So put the ring. Okay. So asked him how much is that. So he gave him the price. So he gave few notes and he left. Okay, uncle very angry. The fellow had gone to the shop. Oh, he also went there, was shouting at him back. So that fellow took out his sword. Boom! I say mati already. Lucky he was fat, man. The baju was a bit loose. What little bit from it. So then only he came back.
They go to the house, rob your property and all that. You see, once we come out, my father having a tailor shop, Once you go, they come and rob the house, the shop, the cloth, the thing, everything is gone already. When the clothing is sold already, so that time machine also gone. I think remain one or something like that. Machine, we don't use the machine to sew buttonhole, We use hand to sew buttonhole and use hand to sew button and all that. After making the cloth, sew the button. That's my mother's work. We also helping to do the buttonhole,
Whatever business we can, we do. I was selling cigarettes. You see, at the time we were selling, all of us, we got a stall, with a milk box, Milk box, then you keep a cover there, then you put in all the Japanese cigarettes, and buy for the Japanese soldiers, then we sit there near Miss Mila there, then we sell there, then people come and buy. Not me, there are so many of my friends, all neighbors, they are all will be selling there.
He went to Padang Besar in Thailand border there to buy cigarettes and we were selling 3 brothers of us in Kota Road, 3 stalls. We were selling chicken, we were doing quite well.
Get the papaya, go and buy the sugar cane, chop clean and everything. We go and sell, go to the camp.
And, during Japanese time, we had a stall, a small stall, all kind of dosa, idli, appam, and crab, all this and that. In front of the railway station, we are living in the hospital quarters.
Then I was selling cakes also at that time. Because during that period, my father was jobless. We go on the roadside with a basket and then we sell cakes to whatever people survive, we sell.
Pada saya duduk kerja dalam umur 12, saya kerja di kedai kopi, store kopi sepi masjid lama kan. Sampai British masuk balik, saya kerja situ. Situ kan atas meja. Kedai store saya kecil saya duduk sana, itu rumah saya.
And then once the civil service came in, then they started working and all that. So he could go back to work. They said that those who want to come back to work, go to work. So I went back to exchange.
Anh em bù khai rồi thì khi lại ai rồi.
He said the money is a banana. In the end, no value.
Khai bộ ăn khi lại
No value. Cannot use for anything.
These are the Japanese currencies. All denominations have got. They call it the banana money. See the banana tree? It's the $10. It's the $1, $5. $1,000, I think. It's $1,000.
Adalah kedai-kedai runcit ada je, tapi susah mau dapat. Barang tak ada, duit ada, barang tak ada. Duit tujuan duit pun macam sampah.
Duit Jepun tahu gitu. Dia mari Jepun duit banyak, duit mewah tak laku dah percaya.
If the sentry is there in front, a guard, anybody passed by bicycle, You cannot cycle in front of them, no. You have to stop 10, 15 feet away. You have to get down, walk, and come in front of him, bow. Then you get up, walk for another 10 feet, then you ride the bicycle. If you start riding the bicycle straight, he'll call you, kora. He said, come here. You right slap.
So one time my father, holding the bicycle, forgot to bow. He slapped my father very, very. Some are worse. They make you stand with the bicycle up there.
So, because they see you, they don't like, they can slap you one. You see, they tell you they can slap you one, They can cut your head off also.
Yolah, pergi ke pasar pekan situ, mana nak tahu cakap Jepun, nak koroh. Nyonya Cina, pahnya tapong kat Cina. Saya tengok, dia ambil lah buah betik tu, belah makan kat dia.
Which people lah? You going time, come back time, masa is the people. So, can talk people, master, arigato. Arigato means thank you.
Towards the end of the war, when the war was going very badly for the Japanese, one day I went to work, and usually when we meet the Japanese, we wish them, and they will wish you. But this morning, this day that I went to work, one Japanese fella, I don't know, maybe the night before they must have had very bad news. When I wished him, he slapped me.
One time, this time he came, he wanted the chickens that my auntie was rearing for her own consumption. They wanted just a chicken. So we were so happy to help them to catch the chicken and give it to them, and they left. And we had to say thank you for taking the chicken off.
Tapi dia cek rumah semua. Dia naik atas rumah, kita punya kelambu semua, dia tendang kelambu. Dia tengok lagi apa. Lagi dulu, saya punya bapa ada pedang dulu punya. Dulu raja-raja pakai punya. Dia nak, dia ambil itu pedang.
Dia bari rumah, alat semua orang beli memakainya. Dia semua angkat pergi. Ayah mak ite. Jadi ayah lagi nak dia panggil pergi angkat kasih dia. Mana tak bagus lah. Dia pun mari jam mana tak bagus.
Apabila dia nak makan itu buah kelapa, coconut, buah kelapa muda, dia tak boleh panjat pokok. Dia paksa orang. Dia benet dengan senapang. Masalah nak tak boleh pernah nak ambil buah kelapa dia makan. Dia paksa nak buah kelapa.
And nearby the convent, we have all the high-ranking police officers there. That was the HQ for the Japanese. But the Gestapo one is Peking Hotel. The Kampitai police Peking Hotel, where they torture people. The rubber association, former rubber association. And every day you find cars coming out, big cars. And then you sort of differentiate their rank by the color of the flag. If it's yellow, it's top color. That's why you stand there, you have to bow. You don't bow, the floor will come down. You take his sword and just cut your head off.
A few of us were asked by the Japanese to sing Japanese songs for the radio. A few of us. Then we were asked to put up a show for the Japanese to entertain the Japanese. In the Rex Cinema. There was a stage there. So she got a few of us and taught us a drill, exercise. So we did that. And after we sing, they give us a present each of soap or something of sort.
We did have some good fun at our place because we had a small gramophone. We used to play records and we used to dance. As small children, we used to dance. The elders would teach us how to dance. We used to dance. And then they would give us biscuits with local made jam as prize.
People who had a radio hidden somewhere and they should listen to news of what is happening. If you're caught with a radio, your head is cut off, is it? But they were so well hidden. So my father had this, they trusted him and they passed words to him.
So what these women folk did was at night, under the dim light, they play mahjong. I used to sit behind one of the players and watch and learn how the mahjong game was played.
So I just do my usual reading, sitting down there, alright, having friends. I don't say my neighbors, shopkeepers, or my classmates.
Ada kawan-kawan main lebih kurang itulah, main gasin, main goli ke apa, tu macam lah di kampung. Belakang bola main pukul-pukul ke, macam-macam lah.
Macam boy, you know, there's a wood, you know, say so big the wood. The wood is so big. At the end, they sharpen the thing, and then they put in there's a hole there. They put like this up, and with the stick we hit it up, it go up. We hit one hard hit, it will be flying. How far? I don't know.
Habis sangat main komsika yang tak ada ni dah tak ada getah tu, tolak roda keras reng.
Sewing the flower and then knitting the shoes. They do the magnet one.
Night time we go there, inside got cinema and all that, got smoke, gambling and all that. That's called the park. We call that is a park. See, we go there. We got no money to go and see picture, you know. The Japanese give me tickets so I can go to see picture, you know. Free one, get free ticket, you see.
Go to town and go to the park, you know. And in the park they will have a cabaret, you know, there will music there. Mostly all these Filipino people singing and dancing there. So we used to go and watch. Then Japanese will show some pictures of their war, invasion, all here and there. And then some of the songs I can still remember. One is Miyato Okai no Soryakite Kya Kujutsu Takaku Kya Kya Keba. Oh, songs.
I had malaria. That time no doctor, no quinine. We have to have that quinine, isn't it? I was sick with malaria for I think 2 months. Every night, from night the hours changed. You know. I was shaking in the bed. That time those bed were metal. You can hear the metal clang, 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 clang. So my cousin said, I think she will surely die. So my grandmother said, you go and walk out in the sun. Daytime hot, it won't be so cold. Walk in the sun, and then she'll cut the chili. At first she used the red chili. Split it, tied it on my wrist. Sort of say, keep me warm. 2 days later she do the mustard. Make it into a paste and tied it on my wrist. Wow, that one was terrible. Then one day, my auntie said, you better go and get us some monkey meat. Monkey, I don't know where they get monkey. They boil and what I don't know, they gave me to, I also didn't know that time, you're so bad, whatever they say you take, when you get better, you better take, so I took. After that, I became better.
Starvation in winter, most of them malnutrition actually. They hardly had anything nutritious in the food. Many could not survive. So but it's not uncommon you get in the morning and see corpses lying all over the places.
Oh, many people had, legs all swollen. Many, they were all suffering, most of them.
So, diet was terrible. I developed a lot of sores because we didn't have protein in our body, and there was medical treatment was hardly available. I still remember how we used to heal our sores. This coconut shell, coconut shell. We used to dried coconut shell. We used to scrape and get the dust of the coconut shell, and then we sprinkle it over the sore. That's worked,
Saya masa tu sakit. Ni kuda buta semua naik musim ni pun. Kuda naik nanam. Baru sampai tidur atas daun pisang. Tak ada apa orang kata, tak ada ubat. Saya sendiri ubat makan belerang.
Tak ada.
Kalau sakit macam mana?
Cara ubat tahu kan pun senang lah kan dulu pandai kan tumpah dulu. Akak apa semua buat makan tu je lah.
So we go up the coconut trunk, pluck the coconut stumps, buy the coconut as that little sharp we used to take that, cut the time and use it to brush our teeth.
And then Colgate we use what? No. Colgate for food, ash, charcoal, fire ash. This was hell of a bloody poisonous and all.
Yeah.
It's very poisonous, was still surviving. Down the ashes, down there, what? Take the.
They all use what? No, the sack. They are tight like that. So? Cannot get clothes like want to buy.
Because we are so many of us in the house, I had to sleep in a sack, this gunny sack. I slept that in a gunny sack and used that. And if it rains, everybody goes out and bathes in the rain because they get clean water. Because we do not know, sometimes the taps, brownish water comes out.
Sabun, ini sabun hal dulu punya ni. Dia punya brand kapak. Panjang ni. Kalau kita pakai ni, yang itulah sabun badan, itulah sabun kain.
He said friends, he was happy when friends give them the old clothing and they are very treasure for it.
Kalau ada pakaian ni untuk kita nak pakai, kena jahit lah yang koyak tu, kena jahit lah. Untuk nak tukar pakaian memang susah. Sampai ada, kita ingat orang kampung ni untuk mengkafankan manusia kan, bila mati pun susah, gunakan kelambu. Dan kain-kain yang lama-lama dibasuh, bersih-bersih, gunakan kain putih susah nak dapat. Saya ingat lagi.
ஆனால் வந்தா 2 பேர் வந்தா பிள்ளைங்க 2 பிள்ளைங்க மீன்ல ஸ்னீஸ் பண்ணிருந்துச்சுல்ல அதுங்க கிட்ட பேசிக்கிட்டு இருப்பான். தோம்புல போட்டு என்ன உள்ள போட்டு மேல அக்கா ஏறி உட்காந்துக்கும், தலையை களைச்சி விட்டுக்கிட்டு உட்காந்துக்கும். உட்காந்துக்கிட்டு அக்கா இந்த பிள்ளைங்க கிட்ட அவன் காசு கொடுப்பான். 1 காசு ரவுண்டு காசு, 1 காசு சின்ன காசு. 2 பிள்ளைக்கும் ஒரே மாதிரி கொடுக்கணும், இல்லாட்டி சண்டை போட்டுக்கும் அப்படின்னு கொடுத்துட்டு பேசிக்கிட்டு இருந்துட்டு போயிடுவான்.
Okay.
Tu je. Ya. Tu pergi ke bukit, pergi ke mana, dah lagi ke bukit dah hambat Jepun pula. Nyorok-nyorok nak pergi kebun pun tak boleh nak pergi. Nyorok pergi ke 16 bukit Deriah duk pergi tu. Nyorok takut. Kau nampak orang muda-muda dah hambat jenuh lari naik ke bukit tu. Bukit nyorok.
There was a house not far, very nearby, with the underground. They put all the rubber tires all here, 2 sets. sent me detention. If the Japanese come here, you run up here and go out. If he comes here, you went out. So at one time, Japanese came. Happened to be looking at that small something drop in, making a noise. Then he start pailing, but all my sisters came up, the other ran away. He went down and saw nothing.
My uncle realized he had 4 girls, big girls, from the age of 10 to 17 or 18. He had to hide them. So we had a store, small store full of coconuts. So they used to hide them under the coconuts. So and the Japanese did come, and with their banner they were poking here, poking there, and we were all wondering why. These children.
Near the Kota Bridge there, one of the bungalows. We have got to evacuate ourselves from down to over there for protection, you see. So we stayed there for some time. So when the Japanese comes at night, they come and search for anything like that, the one they take, you see. So we stay there for when they come, the ladies will go and hide themselves near the river bank there. There's a big river there, you see. The Kota Bridge there, there's a river there.
Sometimes they run to the cemetery, the Hokkien cemetery. And they, a few days, then they run back. And they, with the plank, lay down the plank, and they sleep there at the cemetery. Many of them all run there. Boy and girl all run there, they hide there.
Yeah, I went to Japanese school. In the morning I helped my auntie. So Japanese school only start at 10 o'clock. So in the morning we go and Kimigayo and all that. In Japanese school up to 12. Then we come back and continue with the housework.
Zaman tu sekolah, masa Jepun sekolah, pagi-pagi mesti menyanyi Mio Tokai. Saya tak ingat dia punya perkataan, saya tak ingat, tapi yang tahu pagi-pagi mesti peratur semua, murid-murid menyanyi.
Learn to speak Japanese lo, write Japanese, speak Japanese lo, sing Japanese songs lo. Morning the anthem, we sing the anthem. Di da di da di da da. Something like that. Then we come back from school, we learn a lot of Japanese lo.
O te te chunai de no me kiyo yuke ba ni na kawai o tori ni na te o karete uta uta eba utuga naru uta ne bat ganaru tak
sebab apa dia mesti jalan, dia exercise dia kata lebih kurang 3 batu sambil nyanyi lah. Itulah terapi rondi nyanyi lagu tu. Jadi kawat pakai topi tu, topi tajam ya. Itu buat sendiri daripada kertas. Kita pakai topi, belakang kawat. Lepas tu balik pun naik kelas balik. Naik kelas itulah lebih kurang tak banyak pelajaran, sikit saja. Banyak exercise, senaman, tu lah.
When Japanese came 11 years old, I immediately went to Japanese school. Japanese school, St. George's. I went to Japanese school, I learned 2 years the Japanese, and I could speak Japanese very well. And I was working in the railway station here as an interpreter for Japanese. For example, I ask you, Anata wa doko ikimasu ka? Do you understand what you don't understand? Anata wa means you, doko ikimasu ka? Where are you going?
Dia pun pertemuan masa dia mari di tan kuda kan, tempat kuda dia mencuci-cuci. Setengah hadapan dia cakap Melayu, setengah tak tahu cakap Jepun saja. Setengah dia tak mau cakap Melayu, tapi dia pandai Melayu, dia tak mau cakap. Dia sorok rahsia, dia nak tengok apa rahsia orang Melayu kali cakap apa-apa sama dia jangan tahu. Tapi ada setengah dia pandai cakap Melayu, dia cakap dengan kita.
Nasi tak boleh jumpa punya. Ubi kayu. Nasi tak boleh dapat. Kalau orang tanam ada beras kan, dia pun ambil. Lagi ada beras sikit, masak macam ni sikit. Pakcik asinkan dulu. Makan ubi dulu kenyang-kenyang. Last sekali baru makan nasi. Tapi masa tu, masa makan ubi, banyak orang kampung menjaga ni semua jual ubi saja. Ubi kayu. Bukan ada beras, beras tak boleh. Dia pun tangkap. Orang tak berani. Kalau buat benang, kalau dia pergi benang, dia ambil padi.
They want to eat rice, they want rice, so they has to go work in the factory.
Small children also can work now. That time me 12 ready. My another one sister 10 years old, another one 8, another one 6. My mother, the 2 sisters, they are going work
in that factory.
The factory. They all give afternoon like that one bowl rice. Rice no pure rice no. They all mix sweet potato.
Segala masalah susah cari makan. Dan dah pertengahan pemerintahan Jepun tu ada dia buat catuan beras. Itu jam makanan orang di Semenanjung ni. Itu jam tanah Melayu. Makanan dia yang utama ubi kayu, pisang, labu. Itu makanan dia yang utama.
That time there was rationing, you know. When you buy any fish or meat, they count how many in your house and they give you a coupon. Supposedly you have 5 and then they allow you see how many tiles of meat you can get. No bus, you know. You have to walk from Charas down to the central market, quite a distance, about 4 miles.
Japanese occupation where everybody was suffering. I see people eating rats, cooked, you know, boiled rats, you know, big rodents lah, big ones and just eat because no food. And the staple food was tapioca, chuchu.
Jadi masa Jepun, beras kurang, apa juga yang boleh makan kita makan. Jepun dan popular sekali ubi.
What they used to do is they had rice, little bit of rice and tapioca was in with the rice, and we had to eat it. Mostly every day. Then I used to weed out the tapioca and eat the potato if they have. They don't have, sometimes I go hungry. Till today I don't like tapioca. So for sometimes, you know, we used to shoot sparrows. We skin the sparrow, fry it in white sauce, and eat the sparrow.
So what most of the time we ate was broth lah. Broth cooked with this jagung, anything lah. Just one pot meal, you know. Every morning I know I used to line up to go and get bread, you know. It's not like our bread. It's the hard jagung bread, like batu. But you like
Eating is very poor. They have the rice, you know, already mixed with the lime, you know. The smell is horrible. You got to watch 5-6 times, and what we have to do is, my mother was telling us, then after that we cook curry. Curry powder, all that, you see. Curry, we take the daun pandang, you know, types of smelly type or what, put it, make the curry more smelly. So we mix with the rice and we can eat a little.
Coffee powder naan. The rice, put the coli, fry.
same black ready. So after put water, give boil. Drink the water, same coffee, no sugar. Black sugar only got. The black sugar you put, drink coffee.
There are a lot of the Malaysian who acted as spies for the Japanese. They're getting names of people and say these are the supporters of the British, and they pulled up these people, interrogated them, and then tortured them, asked them to reveal who are your colleagues.
And the informer will benefit also with some money, of course not much, but certain privileges or the food or any food.
Oh, they put the silence, silence all. You all must go out, go to the field, You know the school, the CRC there's a big field, all go inside there, check. Once you got a statues, on the hand and anything, that means you are a group of gangsters or something like that.
Assemble at the field. Children, ladies, men, for screening. They have got, they are afraid that touch the communists, or they have got mark here. Like my father-in-law got one, but before that he burnt it. You have to put your hand there and so that field go. And that one former will be a hood goes up. And if he does not let you, you just put the head like that, you will go to another side. Example there.
During the Japanese time, don't talk about war or anything. You never know who over here and who will report you.
Japanese spies to early days, as the same profession. He was a dentist too. My father used to go to his shop and ask for help, for equipment and all this. When the Japanese came in, he totally disappeared. My father never saw him. So one day, there was a big Japanese scout came. He came into the shop, marched into the shop, looked, asked my father. My father came out. He looked at each other. They recognized each other. They said, "Oh, you're old friends." He offered my father a job. He said, "Why don't you stop working in this shop? Your salary is paid. Your children are welfare looked after. You will be protected from all atrocities." My father, as you say, is a man of principle. He never liked serving the Japanese. He says, "Thank you, I'm very sorry." So before he left, he gave my father a letter. Oh, this is based on the door. This is the protection.
There were so many mosquitoes in that area, those Japanese days. So what happened is, he gives an order. He says, for every citizen in this town, each one must kill 10 mosquitoes a day. So we had about 7 or 8 of us in the family. So I remember at a small time, my father used to tell us, go and kill the mosquitoes. So we had these curtains in the corner there, a lot of mosquitoes. We kill, then we'll count them, and bring 70 every day. That is one order. Everybody has to do it.
Dalam camp dapat bawa satu kotak guru api, satu mukul lalat. Mukul lalat, masuk kotak guru api, dia ada depa punya ketua berapa ekor dapat berapa ratus, dia bagi rokok.
They are so straight, You are corporal, I'm sergeant. You dig anything wrong to me, stand up. Even like this, there's a slap, that's right, something, I don't know. It's very, even their own people also, they fight, they slap like that,
There were a lot of Japanese, they were good people. They came to my father's shop. Them became very friendly to my father. They start telling their life story. Yes. So they actually not cruel people. They are forced out from the family to join the Japanese army. You see. So they say, until now we still very miss our family very much somewhere.
So the Japanese, when they surrendered, we didn't know. So the first soldiers that came were the Indian soldiers. They came and then they got all the Japanese fellows, put them in a concentration camp there, and then made them cut the grass on the roadside, Cut the right, we see them cutting the grass on the roadside, and everybody passing there, shouting at them, cursing them and all that.
Japanese were waving white flag. There was no sight of the white man. Only the Japanese were waving the white thing and leaving.
Dia pun keluar macam tu jam ada sikit tak lama lah komunis kan. Lepas tu baru super British masuk lah.
Komunis 3 pentang 10 லோரிக்கு மேல இருக்கும் ஜப்பான்காரன் போக்குள்ள அந்த இதெல்லாம் தூக்கி வீசிட்டு போயிட்டான் அவனோட ஆயுதமெல்லாம்
all the arms were thrown out by the Japanese and then these 3-star people took it.
MCP when they shot one of the public dead, they sent the Indian troops, Indian soldiers, and the British officer. The formation is diamond formation. About 8 or 10 of them, they form the road. Nobody on the road, all missing. They did not come up. One main road and one Kota road, they march to the communist area.
We see this British plane coming into the country. Why I say that they were a British plane because they had 4 propellers or engine, correct? The Japanese had only 2 that we used to know so well. They took a lot of pamphlets. The midday, the pamphlet come floating down the air, down to the town. People rush out to grab the pamphlets. There the news broke. The Japanese have surrendered.
When the planes, the Allied forces planes flew over Ipoh, hundreds of them flew over. Then we knew that war was going to be over because the Japanese were very quiet, no resistance, nothing and all that. Some of these planes came low and were supplying things to camps, detention camps.
Those Japanese soldiers here who rounded up everything and sent it to prison, the jail, the prison jail. All go inside there.
The soldiers came they surrender they stay there. You know what they do? They call the Japanese, go and bow the street, the street. That time there's no flush system, the tong one,
After that, then we hear news of after that Tong bomb, Japan surrendered. Then the British came in. They came in a time in jeeps. One officer will come in the jeep and throw sweets to y'all all, or I will chase after the sweets, the jeep chase after, because you throw sweets, we take what's where the time we ever eat sweet. Never chance to see a sweet one.
So that time British come ready, they all see people, small children, big place, and they all, the army people, they all bring the jeep. They got small children, they come give biscuit la, chocolate la, like that.
British nak lari pada Jepun, dia roket ini kereta api punya apa itu jambatan besi. Orang kampung bila tengok Jepun ni orang putih pasang wire, dia nak bom. Satu orang tu dia berani, dia pergi di sana jauh, dia orang tarik wire. Tak boleh bom lah.
Yang mana tiap-tiap ada jambatan, dia orang bom. Itu British bom ke, dia orang bom, saya tak tahu. Simpang kena bom, dia punya tu.
No flush bathroom, no flush toilet.
Tong, right?
Tong. That one, morning, European people, the army one, take like that, they all wash everything, this one, clean everything, they all laugh. Ayo, that time see, ayo, no shed, nothing. Short pen only. The short pen also, you see, means how many days didn't wash like that, the thing.
I opened the behind door of our shop. I was there in the shop because suddenly I heard British voices coming, and one Japanese fellow in front with a rifle, and one at the back. And these few British gentlemen, was with soldiers, were forced or doing to carry the rubber toilet bowls or what. I was thinking one day they were the kings, today they were carrying the bucket.
The Chance Rani movement was supported by the Japanese so that they will be used to fight the British in India. So that's how she was inducted into it. So the mother intervened. She went and told them, don't take my daughter.
Because why? Where we stayed in Sungai Nyaw Road and Patua, at the back is jungle, and at the back there are the communists, And how we knew that they were communists because when they got wounds and all that, they come at the back in the night and ask my auntie, to dress the wounds.
They came to my father's office, pointed their guns at all of them, and then nobody dared to speak to them except my father. But they knew already who were cooperating and all that. So they left them alone.
They took my father to the jungle. Communists come, they also want ransom. They want my father to pay so much, only they release him. So my father said, whatever we have in the house, you all already ransacked and took already. No, actually there's no money. He took my father for I think 2 weeks at least. I don't know what promise my father gave them. They let him, in the middle of the night, they brought him back, And then my father and my uncle, they all get together that very night. They had a meeting. The next morning, they all have to move out.
And the Japanese already surrendered, I believe they have surrendered, they have lost the war. They gave my cousin a radio and a piano. So when the radio was brought in, we all went glued to the radio trying to hear what is the latest news, who and all that. After a couple of days, a lorry came. What was the lorry? Communist soldiers. They came and took the radio and the piano and gave a letter saying, claim it later.
Turn over, And that time the communists were very, very strong. The communists came out openly to the cities. They marched around with their 3-star cap, around and they killed so many of those who cooperated with the Japanese.
He was all for the Japanese, And he used to come to the house and he used to talk very big and all that. And my auntie and all would tell us, don't say anything, don't say anything. When the war was over, people that were not for him, they took him into the jungle and killed him.
Japanese entered Taipei, they decapitated 4 Chinese, and they hung their heads in their respective town areas, to instill fear into the.
One day when I reached the market, a distance, and I saw why everybody is looking up. Nobody is moving, but all looking up. What do I saw? I also parked the bicycle, also look up lah. They executed 2 fellas, put their heads on the bamboo stick and stuck there. So
when they catch the communists, they cut their head down, slash their head, and they'll have a bamboo stick, stick something, they poke through and put center of the town. The fish market, main road, the fish market there's a small land there in front there, now they put some. There they'll stick it, they'll put it up. I saw the head, I passed, I saw the head.
So we have to walk past Theatre Road. Where the supermarket is, where the cashew market is, in front, we have boxes where they put their heads, heads which they chop off and put there. All heads on boxes they put there. As a reminder to you to be a good boy.
And the military MP, military police, because it's very fierce. That was packing hotel. Now packing hotel, that is the headquarters. They have 2 officers, very notorious. One is the veteran, his name is O'Hara. He is a look at smiling face, but he was the chap who got people and assaulted them. And the other one is Righty Kinaoni, Toga, the face always pale. But somebody say that is the behavior.
There were 2 of the people who were tied to a lamppost. And I don't know what the Japanese did there, that they will be beheaded because they stole property there. We also went, the Japanese in front, these 2 following. Both of them were having charcoal. Asked them to dig the holes. Suddenly, pop, give them a big inside the hole, bury them.
We heard was they were stealing chickens and somewhere in La Kampong, tied them round the rubber estate trees, 9 of them, 1 Malay and all the other Chinese. And we were all forced to go and watch. They fixed their guns in the bayonets, and after the orders, they bayoneted them. All 9 of them in front of us. All bayoneted them. I saw the blood all coming out from their body. And then they buried all the 9 of them in shallow graves. So we went after a rain, We went to the spot there and we saw hands still sticking out from the ground. They didn't bury it. So we saw all that.
Ini baby kecil ya, gini pun dah kembali tuan itu pasti ya.
Even the baby also they use the gun to poke and
let it die.
Everything, every people they were taking lorry going to Thailand. Thailand, in Malaysia they are doing the train within train. They are doing like that.
The Japanese asked a lot of people from here to go to Thailand to work for the Japanese. On the way, many people told them, don't go, because you are going to die. You are going to be treated badly. So some of them jumped out of the train and left. But the others went, and actually they were all.
And what they tortured the day was that during the hot sun around this time, they'll tie that guy to a pole at the car, where the car park is now. For hours there, and then you put water into his mouth. That was part of the torture. What kind of torture is inside the building we cannot see.
What they do, they go and feed you with the water, Then you drink all the water, then stab on your stomach, the water will come out. That's how the very main torture, they have to torture,
Ini belum pernah kecil-kecil dia pun angkat itu kacau. Banyak orang takut.
Satu orang cerita budak-budak perempuan mengaji Quran, dia nak naik nak kacau. Itu guru perempuan juga. Bila dia naik, dia tolak bagi jatuh. Ini Jepun tolak bagi jatuh. Bila Jepun ini mati, dia orang lari, dia masuk hutan. Jepun datang, dan dia lagi susah.
There was the neighbor on this side where we saw the Japanese just dragging the girl and going around. Oh, the girl screaming, the parents can't do anything.
Tak bagus ya. Banyak tak bagus.